Hey, welcome back to Rookie Roost. Today I am taking apart the bathroom. If you're new here, my name is Sean, and this series follows me on the day-to-day progress of building a tiny house on wheels. So I'm starting to prepare for the electrical, and for that I need to know exactly what kind of appliances I'm going to have in here and where they're all going to go. So I've brought in the fridge. It's like an apartment-style fridge, 24 inches across. Got a toaster oven, some cooktops. Starting to get a little crowded in here, but that's good because it gives me a better sense of space. So the reason I need to take apart the bathroom is mostly because I need to install the bathroom fan. And all that stuff is kind of in the way, especially the shower, because it's going to go right above the shower in the corner. So I'm going to end up probably just sticking the shower in the middle of the room here, getting these walls out of the way. I'm actually thinking about making this wall a bit thicker so that the light switches for the bathroom and the bathroom fan will be on the outside here. And then actually running the plumbing for the shower through this wall and actually having the shower head just right above here so the water kind of shoots the other side of the shower rather than shooting back at the shower curtain. I think that would work better overall. So all this crap has got to come out of here so that I can get started on that. Spider? No spiders allowed. Whew. Dark. Now I can get to what I need to get to. Let's go take a look, shall we? So the bathroom fan is going to be mounted pretty much, well, not pretty much, actually inside the shower, right up here, and it sticks down further than the joist, quite a bit further. It's supposed to stick down about 1/4 inch so that when you put the ceiling on or whatever thickness of your ceiling is, it sticks out past it so you can get the grill on over there. Obviously this sticks down quite a bit further than that, so I'm gonna have to shim this out to get this to sit nicely. It comes with these arms, and the arms are all good. They stick into the wood just fine. Well, just barely really. But barely is good enough. And then I've got the trim for the vent that goes to the outside already on. It just has to be cut out. It's about right here. Only trouble is these other arms that need to go in are too big. This isn't quite 16 inches on center, and so what they give you, I guess, is a minimum of 16 inches on center, so I'm gonna have to cut these down a bit to get them to work, because that's as small as it goes, and it's too big. So I'm gonna have to use a grinder to cut these down, and I don't have my grinder here, so this isn't getting finished today, which kind of leaves me wondering what to do with the rest of the day. Alright, it's a new day. I went home last night, grabbed the angle grinder, and made sure I brought it today. So I'm gonna cut this piece down. I only need to cut a little bit off of it, and then I'll be able to install the bathroom fan. Nothing to it. So this comes with all its own screws. It's got a little hole in here. Takes these little screws, and I want this as extended as far as I can because that's going to keep it as close to the wall as I can get it. And I guess I just kind of bash these into the wood up there. So it's time to choose the actual spot it's going to be. One of those jobs where 2 people would be handy. Instead of going into the wood, it seems this just bends the tabs. Those tabs not for what I thought they were for? Kinda seems that way. Yeah, they have these tabs that poke out, and I thought they were going to penetrate the wood and kinda hold it there. Not the case. I don't know why I'm using a screwdriver. Because there's no space for a fucking drill, that's why. The more work I do in the house, the more I realize that nothing is really all that perfect or well made. I mean, is that really the way it's supposed to go on there? It's kind of rickety and loose, but it is holding really solidly. I mean, it's sitting in there pretty square. I do own a stepladder. It's definitely not sitting level. I simply do not have enough hands. I'm probably being too picky about this because when it comes down to it, the cover that goes over top of it is just going to be flush with the ceiling regardless because it's held up with springs, and so it's just gonna be tight to the ceiling. So I really don't need to be so paranoid about getting this thing level, but since I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna get things as accurately as I can, hoping that that means I have less of a chance of messing it all up. So I'd like to carry on with the bathroom fan, get it ducted through the wall, and get the wall cap on, but unfortunately it's way up there and I don't have a ladder that can reach that will also fit in this narrow spot. So, time for the day. Okay, we're back at it. So let me explain just what is going on here with these vents. So there are 4 of these around the house right now. One here, which is for the bathroom fan. 2 at the other end, we got the ERV at the top and the range hood down below. And this little guy vents the toilet. So that's the bathroom window, showers in this corner, bathroom fans right there. So because we didn't want to get held up with the siding, we weren't really ready to put vents or vent caps in or anything like that. We wanted to get the trim just cut for these and the hole cut out so we can come back later, take the tape off, and behind here is just house wrap and sheathing. Easy enough to just drill a hole through, take a sawzall and just cut it out. Fully expect to have to repaint this a bit. Oh, that's not too bad. So I'm just gonna cut a hole right through here with a hole saw, and then just take the sawzall and do my best to get that all cut out. This hole, as you can see, is pretty brutal, but that's alright. It's gonna take the wall cap. It's all gonna be caulked around and sealed up nicely. And you can see this goes straight back to the sheathing. There's no space here for the rain screen like there was behind the other trim and the rest of the wall. And so this piece is basically glued on here. I've got caulking all behind this trim, and I'm gonna have caulking in all around here so water can never ever hit the vent itself. So now that I've got a bunch of electronics in here, dust is becoming something that I'm very much aware of and want to prevent. So I've got an idea. So this is where the hole is that I'm going to be cutting from the outside in. Of course, this vapor barrier is going to make it a little harder than it needed to be. My idea is to just tape a plastic bag kind of up around where I'm going to cut. And hopefully all the dust will stay contained inside the bag. I think it'll work. As long as I don't accidentally cut the bag. Okey dokey doke doke. Goaty goat go. Goaty goat. Goaty goat. I think the bag is doing the trick. Oh, I cut the bag. Oh, that's why I hate these things. I'm going to be caulking and painting. It got pretty mangled, but most of it still ended up in the bag. Look at that hack job. Ugh. So I'm probably gonna cut it maybe back to here. Went over the hole again with the jigsaw and smoothed it out a bit. Man, this is brutal, all that. Good thing I'm repainting it. Ugh. So I cut a little slit in the vapor barrier in there, just enough to get it through. There's the bathroom fan. Could be worse. I think this little ring thing goes on in here. That makes it look a little nicer. All I need is a short piece of ducting to go from there to there. That will come much later after I paint and caulk and do all the other stuff I gotta do out here. Overall, I'm pretty pleased. This is fine. The house is a little closer to this wall on this side. I did way better this time. I may be a rookie, but I can learn. For starters, when I put in the 2-inch hole with the hole saw, I put it next to the edge so I could just stick this in and start working my way around the hole, rather than putting the hole direct in the middle like I did over there, and then just cutting a bunch of grooves and hoping I can mash it out. This is where the range hood is. Alright, let's hope I have success again. That's what goes out there. Interesting shape, too. You know, when I was cutting the trim for these, first of all, I was in a huge panic because we were actually already putting up siding by the time I finally remembered that these vents need to go in, and they gotta be planned before we put the siding on. I mean, you can cut through your siding to put in a vent, but that just seemed like a backwards idea to just not plan it ahead of time when I already knew vents had to go in somewhere. But I really had no idea that this would work. I explained it all in the trim video, which is up. It's been up for a while, but I just used a 2x10 and cut it into the dimensions that I needed for each one, and then just cut a hole in it, and then basically just glued it and screwed it onto the plywood sheathing. And now that I'm finally seeing it all kind of come together, I'm really happy that it works. So now you can actually see what's going on here. The range hood is gonna go right here. The cooking surfaces will be right below it. What's weird is the range hood's instruction, I'm pretty sure it said 18 inches above your cooking surface. Now 18 inches is only 1.5 feet, and your cooking surface is usually at about 3 feet, or countertop height. I've actually got marks on this stud here because we were trying to figure out where the range hood would go. And this is 3 feet above the kitchen floor. That doesn't seem right. So that's kind of a standard countertop height. 18 inches above that is only right here. So you're telling me the range hood is gonna be at chest height? I mean, those are pretty much always over your head. So I just did what literally every kitchen I've ever been in does and put it just over my head. I'd rather elevate my cooking surface on some kind of a stand or something than bring the range hood down to chest level. That just doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine anyway. That range hood alone could probably evacuate all the air in the house within minutes. Okay, I think that's where I'll end today's video. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave me a comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Words of encouragement are also nice. If you got $1 to spare each month, head over to my Patreon. The link is down below in the description. I wasn't quick enough to keep out the bugs. I'll get you. Anyways, patrons over on Patreon get the videos early, as well as a bit of a behind the scenes look. It's like a little moth or something. I don't know. The other night I probably killed like 20 of them. Where are you coming from? Gotcha. Anyways, see you next time at the Roost.